the powders that are out there that are known as green powders, they became really popular. And one of the largest brands that became really popular, I just got to know, somebody sent me some articles on it. Teddy's making it live there for you. They they actually said that they couldn't have the data to back up what they say their products do. So, which is very different from what we do. We in doTERRA, we are committed to transparency and also, of course, efficacy. But everything that we talk about, everything that we say, you can go and look it up. You can go, and if you want the data, you have access to it. And more than that, when you use it, you feel it. So I think that's the best way to understand if how the product works is to really feel it in your day to day. So for me, Teddy, what are some of the highlights for the VMG? So VMG is a powder. It comes in this little sachet that's super easy to carry around, right? Very convenient. And you put in water, and usually I do. Teddy's doing a smaller shot. I do about 16 ounces of water, cold water, and it tastes like pineapple, mango.
Hmm.
It tastes amazing. So Teddy, tell
Yeah,
us a little bit about how you're
I
doing it.
just, well, I just wanted to demonstrate how simple it is. Like you saw within 30 seconds. I like that it's a powder because I'm traveling a lot and I don't have to carry the extra weight of water, right? Liquid items. Um, it's just a great alternative to taking the pills. And one thing that I've noticed is that with the Lifelong Vitality Pack and the pills, yes, they are convenient, but you have to take a dose, midday. And what's great about the VMG Plus is it's just one and done. And again, you guys saw how simple it was. I have about 6 to 8 ounces in this glass, and my water's room temperature water. And again, it tastes great. I mean, I got to sample it at convention, and I haven't actually been taking it consistently because I've been traveling and on the go. But it is, delicious, and it goes down. It does not taste like the bottom of a lawnmower. Like when people talk about all the different green products, sometimes when you take it, it's just like a wheatgrass shot. Like that's just, I think, wheatgrass was really popular, a couple years back. And I think people have this connection, when they see something green, that it's going to taste like that. And that tastes like the bottom of a lawnmower. And this does not. Very delicious.
It's funny. I was double checking to see if there was wheatgrass in it because there is some pretty amazing things in here. Like, I don't know if in the past you ever did the
The
oh,
wheatgrass shots,
the which one?
the wheatgrass shots that
No,
taste.
no, but the barley grass. I
Oh,
used to go to the store and get barley grass powder and do that. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's in here. And then somebody was asking me, is spirulina in it? And I'm like, actually, it is. There's some really awesome things in here, and you don't taste it at all. I think, just like Teddy was saying, it's very tropical. You guys are saying it's very tropical. I think if you go to the supermarket and you purchase pre-made bottles of green juice, I think it tastes just like that. And it doesn't have any type of mouth feel to it like other fiber type of green drinks do. It's a very smooth juice. It's like the most amazing multivitamin ever. It's life-changing. And that is also what I wanted to mention, is that there's a lot of people who need to take multivitamins and other types of medications and things, and they have a horrible time swallowing and getting pills stuck in their throat, no matter what tips and tricks they do. And so this is revolutionary because of how powerful this is with all the liposomal technology and how bioavailable all these things are. It's just game changing.
it is. And if you're thinking, oh, there's so many green powders out there, yes, there are. And we're working now on a comparison chart to explore a little bit more of these other greens, I know what's in there because I've bought some of those, and one of them was just the most popular one. It's backed up by athletes and all that, and it really tastes bad. So I gave it to the kids, and this is my way of getting greens in them is through smoothies, and I throw them in there. And this one, when I came back from convention, the first day I have them make it because they get excited, right, to use the mixer and everything. And so they made it and they each had one. And so they're like, oh, this is pretty good. It tastes like pineapple. Great. The next day was so cool. Before leaving for school, Wallace, which is my middle one, he goes, and he's not really a vegetable eater. He's not. He's a fruit eater, but not a vegetable eater. And he's like, Mom, can I have that pineapple juice again? So I thought that was really awesome, especially for Wallace. So if you have one of your children that is not keen into like vegetables and eating healthy things, he's not. He likes to eat the stuff that's not really great for you, but that's just his palate and that's the way he is. But to be able to have some tools to see how he can incorporate it's for me. That's it. This is how we do it. I'm calling it liquid vitamins. And another thing that makes it very different. So a key differentiator is in the VMG is like Christina said, the liposomes, but also there's no synthetics in it. So a lot of the green powders out there, they are green. Yeah, they are. But we have long understood this regarding the essential oils. And the same concept goes for all of the other products that we have in our line, So the same concept for nutrients is the same concept for essential oils as far as no synthetics. It makes a difference. Your body responds differently. It processes differently. You get different results, right? And also we have 330 phytonutrients. So if you like to geek out on some of the nutrition factors of supplements like me, so I look into it and I'm like, this is amazing, right? Like peptides and flavonoids, lipids, all of and alkaloids. We talked a whole lot about alkaloids at convention. And in the other products that you see out there, not that I want to compare because a lot of us are taking this stuff, at least a lot of the people I talk to, they're like, oh, I take this one, and it's one of the most popular ones. These other synthetic products don't have that. They just don't. If you look at it and you really compare, and you're paying a lot more for those products, by the way, than for VMG. And this is what we talked about in the very beginning of Set the Pace a couple years ago now, that we talk about the food matrix, right? So and VMG delivers on that. And that is a big differentiator. And when we say liposomes makes it more absorbable. And what makes it more absorbable are the essential oils. So, and that is fantastic. Not only it works as a natural preservative for the product, but also for the delivery and absorption of what you take in, your body absorbs it. It's bioavailable on top of prebiotics, probiotics, enzymes. There is another one that I loved was the
methylated B vitamins
and the broccoli seed.
Oh yeah,
that you don't get that anywhere else. So it's really incredible. So it's just a little powder just to make life easy. That's it, So there's only a few things that I do every day. And along with the VMG, we've talked a whole lot about MetaPower. So I will never stop talking about MetaPower. This was a game changer for me. It has been. This is more metabolism focused, and this is it. And if you'd have to just do a combo, I would say these two things. You do it every day, you're good. Like I can tell that it's going to make a difference. So,
and some people even mix those together into one drink
and take it in less than a few minutes. So you don't want to. That's cool. Yeah. Is that what that they said, right? You take it in like 15 minutes or so?
Yeah, if you're going to have the MetaPower mixed in with it, you definitely want to make sure you're still taking it within that, 10, 15 minute mark, because that's what's important for the MetaPower to be activated. So definitely do that.
Yeah. So I get powders. So when you talk about powders, I'm like, yes.
Yeah. But
the MetaPower, the Advantage flavor changes after 15 minutes as well. So that's the whole reason. Anytime you mix the MetaPower Advantage with either the other the probiotic sachets or even the hydration. It's just because the flavor changes. It's like a chameleon. It changes.
Yeah.
So
And one, I want to bring some attention to environmental consciousness, because if you are doing powder form supplements, because a lot of people are like, oh, but I do this liquid one. Well, basically, it's a powder that you add water to it and it becomes a liquid vitamin. So, shipping and environmental impact, right? So, you're not shipping heavy things, you're mainly shipping water when you're buying these products that are filled with water, including cleaning products. So if you have a concentrate, which is kind of the concept of the powder, is a concentrate, you make it into liquid. Now you have a liquid vitamin that doesn't oxidize. So you don't need a lot of preservatives for it to keep fresh. So that's another thing about liquid vitamins. There's a lot of stuff in there to keep it not rotting. So, oh, but that other company I'm talking about, the green powder, by the way, they had mold in their stuff and they knew it and they still sent it in the market. So just so you know, this will never happen in doTERRA. I guarantee you, never, ever, ever, ever. So I think it's kind of good to know.
crazy.
It starts with an A.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Well, and other people, like just like your family, I noticed after convention, they were making videos of their family saying, hey, holding up the product and saying, we used to take this and we loved it, but now we have this and it's so much better, not only like, ingredient wise, etc., but it tastes better and the whole gamut. So for sure, give it a try.
Yeah.
And
So
that boils down to a marketing budget as well. You know what I mean? Like a lot of that green powder that's very, very popular. They, they have a budget. They send stuff out to podcasters, popular wellness podcasters. I mean, a lot of the, wellness podcasters like in the industry, the Stanford doctors and all that. Yeah, they're
all over it.
Yeah, they're all over it because they're being paid. They're getting a little bit of a kickback, to promote that product. So that ties into a whole marketing conversation, which, again, doTERRA doesn't have that budget. They keep the money. They put that money, that marketing budget, back into their products. That's why we can deliver a better product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're really focused on the price point now. So they're really focusing
the value
on making, and it is accessible. It is something that it's not like something absurd. When you look at some of these supplements, people are paying $200 for one supplement out there.
Yeah.
So all these supplements are around $80-ish. The omegas are $49.50, which I think is incredible. The new Frankincense complex is the next one that we're going to talk about. Is something that has never been done before, which is the boswellic acid combined with the frankincense. And we have to be compliant for inflammatory response, for cellular health, and all of the things that encompasses your cells. This is incredible. And the way it looks too, that's something I was like, oh my gosh, how cool is this? I don't know if you can see it, but you guys can talk a little bit more about it. We see these mini pellets of boswellic acid. This is
so cool.
Yeah.
And it's important too. The boswellic acid is something that doesn't come through the distillation process to make frankincense essential oil, and it's a very critical compound in the whole essence of frankincense. And so of course, frankincense helps with skin rejuvenation, memory, focus, attention, cellular health, and all these things. And when you add the complex to it, it has the little microbeads and all that, and it really is super awesome in helping increase those joint comfort and mobility and healthy inflammatory responses and protecting against oxidative stress. And so it's really awesome to have the ability to get this in our system with that new boswellic acid complex. It's a new
on top of, I never thought that frankincense could get better.
I know.
Then it just got better.
Right?
Uh, so for you that like to do a little research and like to learn a little bit more in depth about products, I'm gonna put in the chat here what the boswellic acid is, so you can take a look at it and see all of the benefits, because we have to be compliant.
Mhm.
We're always going to talk in code, but if you go into a little bit of research, doesn't you don't need much, you will see what it does and it will blow your mind. So, and this has never been done before, so there's no other company that offers this. And it goes, goodness, from like, I would say respiratory health all the way to gut health to again cellular health that gets a little bit more into the chronic inflammation. But
Mhm.
um, for the day-to-day thing, for me, I love to notice, because it's kind of rare for me to notice the changes when I add something in, just because we're pretty on it when it comes to doing your self-care, doing all we exercise, do yoga, right? Teddy and me and Christina, we kind of like all live the same lifestyle. Susan, all of our sisters. So it's rare for us to feel something that we're like, wow, this made a difference. But for me, I can tell by recovery time. So when I started as soon as we got a convention. I'm like that. I just open the thing, I start taking it. So for me, is it helped me with the jet lag. That was something that I really loved, and also joint discomfort, because that's my recovery. I can tell is when I was in my 20s, I had no discomfort, and then now that I'm gonna turn 40, there is discomfort. So anything, Teddy's like, oh yeah, I can feel it. So I can tell by
Just wait. Just wait.
yeah, yeah, discomfort, and there are preclinical research to support this healthy cellular function statements that we're making, so you can take a look at it, and if you want more about it, you just send us a message and we'll send you a little bit more. Another one that we fell in love and we're in love and I'm using it on my face every night is frankincense stick with the nio wood. Nio wood. How do you like that, you guys?
Okay, I
Super love
have
it.
to talk about this.
Go.
So, just a little while ago, I mean, I have been using this consistently. Okay, so I had to pack light after convention because I was just going to two other places, and I did streamline my supplements. So, but I definitely took this, and this is again great. I love the smell. Number one, the combination between the frankincense and the Nile wood just smells very, earthy and mellow. Not floral. It can. I feel like men will like this scent a little more, and they can use it for anything topically, like aftershave or just any kind of skin issue. But I have a mocha pot, and I was making some espresso this morning, and I accidentally spilled some hot espresso, like when I was moving my mocha pot. I poured it right here on my hand, burning. So again, reach for the frankincense oil first, because I had the oil next to me in my kitchen. Put it on with a little bit of coconut oil, slathered it on, and then I reach for this, and like again, literally like no pain. Like it's just, it glides on and smells good, and I just love this. And just I was having a little bit of, on my trip to Alaska, I was having a little bit of, because I was holding my potty a few times, because there's nowhere to really go in the middle. Like we were on this fishing trip, and there's bears everywhere, and so I was having a little bit of kidney and bladder inflammation, because I was trying to really just see how long I could hold my my potty. And so anyways, I used this topically, and again, it really helped with the, again, pain, inflammation, And again, the only way you feel pain in your body is because something is pressing against like either a bone or something like that. Like that's how you get a headache, right? Something, you have blood vessels swelling. That's usually the cause. It's a circulation issue, and that's what's causing the pain in the body, or your joints are swelling or whatever it is. So in my case, my bladder was stretched out, my kidneys were getting full. So yeah, and my liver was not happy with me. So, this was what I had just in the moment. And I just grabbed rubbed it on my liver, my kidneys. And again, within like an hour, I just really felt the pain, dissipating. The swelling seemed to, subside. So yes, I absolutely love this.
Yeah, same. Similar story, but not different location. I got kids and they're in the age of growing pains, and I hope that's okay to say. But
Growing discomfort.
so, and not everyone loves deep blue. My kids aren't necessarily fans of deep blue because they don't really like the cooling and warm effect. I don't know. It just bothers them. No matter
It's
how
minty.
yeah,
It's minty,
no matter how much I
too
dilute
minty.
it, they're just not fans. So it's like whatever. Sometimes I just make them suffer through it, but now I don't have to, because the other day when it was the complaint and it was like, oh, it's like my whole body, it's my leg, it's this. So I just took, my frankincense stick out, and I also put copaiba on the skin, and rubbed the frankincense stick over it, and they fell asleep quickly. They woke up the next morning without any issue or comment about any pains or achiness, and so it was just really great. I was really happy with that. But in my first experience with the stick was actually at convention, because as we all know, that Salt Lake City air is super dry, and I always forget how my lips get chapped and never bring lip chap and whatever, that's what my kids call it, lip chap. And so I was like, well, let me try this frankincense stick. And so I was putting it on my lips for the rest of the time there, and as I got home, and it was the fastest recovery of chapped lips that I've ever had. It was amazing. So it's great. I love the frankincense stick.
I love it. Well, one of the highlights for me, one, it's in stick format, right? So you can bring it with you in the plane because it's not liquid, which is so awesome. I really hope that eventually they will do minis. You know how we have the mini lip balm, and it would be nice to have all these sticks and those. That would be amazing. So maybe we'll send that to the product research department for them to consider. But the Nile wood. So when we talk,
Yeah.
So Teddy has it right there. We all got it as a gift, which was such
It smells
a
so
big
good.
gift. So the reforestation that has been done and it continues to be done in Kealakekua through Hikiola, and Auntie was there. We were all there a couple years ago, planting some trees and just really connecting to the land and understanding the importance of the reforestation, especially to Hawaii. So Nio is a native plant, and it does provide, and this is coming from Auntie. We were talking about that, and I was like, I'm so excited about Nio. And she's like, yeah, and this provides the habitat for many species, especially the birds, right? So the ecosystem is dependent on Nile. So the reforestation is important. It is important to have it. And that comes the question. So you are extracting it, you're using it, but it's always done in a very respectful way, that we replenish more than we take. And for a while, we didn't have access to some of the essential oils in our line because of that, because nature sometimes won't do what's meant to do because of different factors. And at that time was because of the floods. So there were floodings and they just couldn't do it. So we didn't have it for a long time. So for the sake of profit, doTERRA will never do anything to make sure that we have a product. So they just make sure that the sourcing is pono, like we say in Hawaii, right? It's the right thing to do and what's good for the greater good for of everybody. So they always abide by those principles. So that will never change. So if you are doing some work with the native plants here in Hawaii, so you can rest assured that the work is something to be proud of. I'm very proud of it. Very proud that we're doing this in Hawaii. And on top of all the benefits, right? The aroma of Nayo is very similar to, I would say, a little bit like sandalwood. They used to call it the poor man's sandalwood. Back in the day, they used to sell Nayo, saying that it was Iliahi sandalwood, but in fact, it was Nayo because it was more economic. So the sandalwood is a little more floral, I would say, and Nayo is a little more like honey smell, a little rounder. That's why the stick smells so sweet and woodsy. It's just amazing, and I'm putting it on my face every day. So that's one of the things that have been included in my skincare. The last thing that we're going to talk about, and we have 2 minutes to do is only, guys, because I have to jump on another call, is this guy. By the way, you can chew this. So people look at pills and they're like, oh my gosh, it's another pill. You can chew it. And it tastes good, actually, because it tastes like orange.
Yeah, it's
So
awesome.
Go
So
for it.
It's almost like a gusher, but it's natural. My kid is super excited about it. She's upset that, like, I told her she can only have one a day. But because she would be eating the whole thing, which is fine. That's great. But I did see a post from Dr. O, who is part of doTERRA research and all of this, gets up on the stage and tells us all about these products. You can have more than one a day. You can have like 10 a day if you want. It's great. It's fine. But, you know, for the sake of my stash, that I want to be able to take mine, you know, too. So I got to make sure and get a couple every month, I guess. I don't know.
For kids,
But yeah,
you can
I'm
tell
excited.
they need it because their bodies are
Yeah.
telling them, right? Because it's cell growth, it's brain, skin, eye, brain development. So when they
Right.
have it, Addie also ate 2 of them.
See? So we gotta get them a bottle and me a bottle. So it's okay. I'm down. I'm
That's
good because
awesome
it's an
that it's
amazing
so it's
complex.
kid approved.
Yes, super kid approved. And again, it's chewable.
Awesome.
So it's a little bit bigger than the former Omega complex
Yeah.
in terms of size, but it's a softer gel type of containment, I guess you call it. And so for those of us who do have difficulty swallowing, absolutely chewable. You can spit out the outer part if you want to, but you can also swallow it at a certain point. I mean, it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Good to
And I
know.
put it on the comment there. The body can't produce these essential nutrients. So I put on the previous comment. So you have to do it through diet. But as you know, a lot of the omegas out there, just the same concept as we covered on the VMG. A lot of the products that are out there, they're rancid most of the time. That's why they smell horrid. Our omegas never smelled. They're amazing. They so much so that you can chew it. How's that? Tell me one omega that you can chew it that works.
Well, again, I want to say that a lot of the fish oils on the market are rancid and people don't realize it. So, you know, they did a study a few years back and they tested just random ones, you know, from like the big box retail stores and just other brands. And because ours has the essential oils to help, you know, with as a natural preservative, not a synthetic, like Pam talked about earlier. You know, a lot of the products out there have synthetics, especially when you're dealing with a liquid or a gel. They add things in there to create a longer shelf life, and doTERRA does not do that.
Yes. Awesome. So we covered all of it. And by the way, Omega can help you feel fuller between meals on top of helping your metabolism. Look at that. Well, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, we'll be here to answer your questions. And we'll be here again soon. We'll schedule the next one in a couple of weeks. Thank you, girls, for being here again. Love you. Have a great weekend. Aloha.
Thank you. Bye.